Hey there, I'm Mysca and welcome to HitScan, a new Valorant patch, a pretty big one, a lot of balance changes, quality of life changes, map updates, and of course the weapons changes with recoil and accuracy. We're gonna cover those and try to visualize all of that in this video. It's a little bit hard and I'm gonna just begin with that weapons part of it because, well, you'll see, it's not as obvious as it might look in the patch notes. If you want to skip between the sections though, you can do so by checking out the description or probably the top comment. I will begin with the weapons, recoil and accuracy changes. Then I will go to quality of life changes, just picked out sort of the big ones from there and gone through them in like 2 minutes. After that we got the agent ability changes, so both the costs but also the new visuals and sort of changes to some of the abilities there. And after that we'll be taking a quick look at Split and the changes that have been made to that map. Those are sort of the big things from this patch, and if you want to follow along with the patch notes, those will be in the description as well. Enjoy! General weapon update. You will no longer enter the walking accuracy state when transitioning from run to stop. This has to do with the peeker's advantage thing that people have pointed out. Regardless, this is one of the fixes they put in to address that. The dev comment reads, "We noticed many players were entering a walking accuracy state during the run to stop transition that made it appear as if shots they fired or landed were done at full speed." So essentially, it will no longer look like someone is full running when they're killing you. This was pointed out quite a bit. And to battle this, they've also added dead zone accuracy speed threshold increased 25% to 30% instead. Now that you can't gain walk accuracy while transitioning from a run to a stop, we've also slightly increased the size of the dead zone, full accuracy state, to make it a bit easier to get an accurate shot out quickly. All in all, this shouldn't actually feel that different in game, but as people are no longer in that walking state just after they're running, it shouldn't really look like they are moving when you are getting killed anymore. I'm sure someone's gonna go into a deep dive on just this thing. You could talk about this for a 10-15 minute video for sure, just about peeker's advantage and peeking in Valorant and such, but that's not this video, so we're gonna move on to the rifles. All rifle recovery times have been changed and updated, just to make sure that tap firing and burst firing feels a bit more efficient and works the way it's intended to. The base walk accuracy has been changed from 0.6 degrees to 0.8. This means that when you are just walking, so you're holding shift, you're not going to be as accurate anymore. We felt like walk spraying with rifles was a little more effective than we'd like, particularly at longer ranges. We're going to pull back on this accuracy slightly and continue monitoring. There have been tap efficiency changes for the Phantom and Vandal. The higher the tap efficiency, the lower the rate of inaccuracy accrual. This means that if you are tapping a lot, you won't get as inaccurate over time. All in all, it should just feel a bit better tap firing these weapons now. The Vandal itself was also changed, where the horizontal recoil was reduced by 50% while crouched and stationary, so now crouching with this weapon actually kind of does something. This was intended to be the case, and now it matches the crouch benefits of other rifles. The gun recovery time as well has been changed from 0.4 seconds to now being 0.375 seconds. This just means it takes a tiny bit less time to actually recover back to the standard spray for this weapon. Tap efficiency has been changed from 4 to 6. And again, the higher the tap efficiency, the lower the rate of inaccuracy accrual. Very nice, right? If some of this stuff doesn't make too much sense to you, don't worry. In short, the following weapons should feel better to both burst fire, tap fire, and recover from when you've been spraying. The Phantom, which has had its gun recovery time changed from 0.55 to 0.35 seconds, and the tap efficiency has been changed from 3 to 4. All in all, should feel a bit better to tap fire, burst fire, and just shoot and recover with. Bulldog, same thing. The gun recovery time has been changed from 0.55 to 0.35. No tap efficiency change, but all in all, you should be able to recover from your burst a bit easier now. And Guardian, same thing, just a bit of a different gun recovery time change with 0.4 seconds to 0.35. With all of them being around 0.35 and only Vandal being a tiny bit higher though, all rifles should just feel a bit better to shoot. There's also been some adjustments to machine guns, that's the Ares and Odin. These have been underperforming a little bit, so the devs wanted to kind of buff both, basically. Ares has been price reduced from 1700 to 1600 now, pretty nice. The firing error, so how much the bullets are inaccurate depending on how many bullets you've shot, have been changed. These are the exact values that they've changed. All in all, it should be just a little bit easier to shoot, with the first few bullets just being more accurate. They reduced the amount of intensity of horizontal recoil as well after the first 8 bullets. This means that the first few bullets here, because of the firing error, should be a little bit easier to handle. And then after that as well, it's gonna do pretty well, since you got the gun rolling and you won't have to deal with as much horizontal recoil. That will result in the following type of spray. As you can see, because of the way the fire rate works for this gun, the first few bullets are a little bit slow, but once it gets going, it's a pretty cheap, near laser beam LMG. So this Ares buff, definitely nice. Ares gang in the comments. Hopefully this gun's a bit more viable now. Odin, reduce the amount and intensity of horizontal recoil after the first 8 bullets. This will result in the following sort of spray. All in all, this gun should be a little bit more viable. They're still LMGs and they take a bit to get going, but to hold down angles, they should be a bit more viable now. And that concludes the recoil and accuracy part of this video. Check out the patch notes for all of the values and exactly what's been changed, since it's not easy to tell on video. One thing I'll say though, tapping with the Vandal and Phantom definitely feels a lot better. I can definitely feel that change. There's also been a lot of quality of life changes actually, one of these being armor. Before, if you had lost a little bit of armor and you wanted to buy a new one, but then you regretted your choice and wanted to go back to your previous armor and not pay the extra, you would actually lose all of it. So if you would start with 8, buy 50, so you'd be on 50, and then sell that 50, you'd be on 0. Now instead, you'll go back to your previous armor. Very nice. Max money has been changed from 12k to 9k. This is so you can catch up a little bit more. Because if you're ahead, well, it can be hard to catch up sometimes, and this just helps the team that's behind a bit. The spike bleep noise is now visualized in a UI piece at the top of the screen. It will just blink red like this, and well, after it's planted, you can kind of see how fast it's blinking, I guess. Okay, not quite sure if you are visually gonna be able to recognize that, but very nice. You can see your armor of allies if they bought light shields or heavy shields. If you press tab, it's got that icon on the scoreboard now, not just above their heads, that you normally get when you hold left alt. There's new map ping icons, which are much better for clarity actually. It's much easier to see them, and I really like this. The normal ping was just a little bit difficult to see and just not a great icon before, so yeah. Good stuff. You cannot spam voice lines anymore, so I can't spam rush them like I normally do when I'm solo queuing.
Rush them! Rush them!
Unfortunate, but probably for the better. You can scroll between the voice line wheels now with your mouse wheel without triggering any mouse wheel bind, so that's good, I guess. I didn't even know that was a thing. But hey, if you want to scroll between the different voice line wheels with your mouse wheel, you can do that now. The armor needed indicator is more visible on your screen, so hopefully people don't forget to buy armor as much. That's pretty good. I think that was the change here at least. I'm not sure. The patch notes were a bit unclear. The logout button is now red instead. Cool. The title drop-down menu in your collections now drops up instead of down, because it went off screen before, I'm pretty sure. You can see skin level color unlocks price now in the collection screen, so you can see how much Radianite you need to actually unlock that new cool color variation. Viper can now deploy and redeploy her smoke grenade in preparation phase without the cooldown happening. So if you want to set up a cool one way, or you just want the smoke to land in the correct spot without you having to worry about the enemies shooting you, well, that should be better now. And the enemy Sova ultimate is now red as well. Looks a lot better actually, and before it could be a bit confusing if it was your Sova or an enemy Sova that was killing you. A lot of the time it was your Sova, and now you will know for certain. And there's many more smaller things, bug fixes, exploit fixes in the patch notes too, so no more omens going outside of split and shooting you through the wall with an Ares or something.
Last player standing.
Yeah, I don't know. So thanks for that, Riot, appreciate it. So we're in game, we're gonna jump into the practice range, have a look at some of the ability changes and stuff to the agents. Alright, let's get to... Ooh, look at all these though. It might have been that some of these weren't actually in because we hadn't actually seen these officially, so maybe they weren't done. Also, is it just me or does Breach's hair look different? Is he more red-haired now? Huh? Is that just me? Okay, maybe I'm going crazy, but Breach is the only one that I feel like looks a bit different. Alrighty, let's go check out Omen here, and that is a lot faster. You can... Oh god, that was loud. Holy shit. Okay, okay. Alrighty, let's check out Omen real quick. So, some abilities have been changed. All in all, I want to see the projectile speed of this, because the smoke is supposed to be going out faster, having 5 seconds longer cooldown now, but also last for, I think, 3 seconds longer. So, let's have a look at that. Oh yeah, that's definitely quicker. Well, that feels like it's like almost double the speed. That's pretty huge, actually.
Shadows traveling.
Yeah, that's definitely like significantly faster. That will matter in games 100%. I mean, that's pretty much all they changed with Omen. I'm pretty sure they didn't really change anything else. So let's have a look at another character. Sage, of course, had her slow orb change. We talked about this stuff yesterday, so I'm not gonna... Oh my god, it's so loud every time. Okay. Anyway, Sage had her slow orb changed, and we talked about this stuff in yesterday's video, so we're not going to be talking about it again. If you want our opinions of it, check out that video, and thanks for all the support on that one, by the way. Either way, the slow orb So it's gonna last for 2 seconds less, from 9 seconds to 7 seconds, and it's gonna slow a little bit less. Oh, you can kind of tell actually. I'm surprised you could tell. So let's have a look at that again. Yeah, this is, yeah, you can definitely tell that this is faster. I mean, I don't know if you can tell on video, but just from playing, I can definitely feel that that's faster. So it's been changed from 65% to 50% in the slowing amount. So yeah, very cool. They also changed the Sage wall cost here to 400. You can't see it, but it's 300 normally, now it's 400, so it's gonna be quite expensive, which means that if you're on pistol round, you'll be able to buy this wall and then the light shields. You can't buy the slows anymore if you want to go for the light shields on the pistol round, for example. And these are all the ability cost changes in this patch as well, if you want to pause and have a look, and we talked about it in yesterday's video if you want an opinion on it. Cypher next up, the boy himself with the cages, and I think these are pretty... Okay, that's gonna get annoying. I'm gonna have to deal with that. These don't slow anymore, so the way I go through them, of just being able to go through them without being slowed here, this will be the same for enemies. They will just be able to walk through these just like that. So, not quite sure how I feel about that, just because it felt like such a important part of the ability, but this ability is also extremely strong, and you can't kill it. When it's out like this, enemies can't just shoot it. And that's a pretty big deal. Also, this ability right here, if this is destroyed, which I can't do myself, but let's say an enemy shot this, the cooldown will go from 30 seconds to 45 seconds now instead. And Viper. So we got the snake bite changed. And this will now just have a bigger pool, the snake bite, from 350 to 450 units. I don't know what that's measured in, but either way, that's what it looks like. Wait, does it look a bit greener and like... I feel like it looks different as well. I feel like before it was way paler in green color. I'm pretty sure the Viper Poison Cloud, the massive smoke that she can put down, actually had its visual changed as well. I don't remember it looking this sort of wavy and wobbly at least. Pretty nice. One important thing to note as well, all Molotovs, so we've got basically that Viper ability I just showed, which is basically a Molotov style ability. We've got the Brimstone Incendiary, and we've got Hot Hands on Phoenix. All of those you can't really bunny hop through anymore, so when you're running through them you can't really just like jump through, I don't know, something like that. I can't really bunny hop properly, but regardless, the short version of it is that the hitbox has basically gone from being about up here to being about up here. Something along those lines, so you just take damage if you're in the air and you're trying to bunny hop through it. So yeah, nice fix. And next up in this patch we got Split, which has actually been changed a bit. Some of the walls, but primarily the barriers have been moved around. So let's go through some of those changes. The most significant change is definitely this wall right here of B Heaven. This wall is now angled, meaning that you won't have to clear this corner if you're coming from mid, which is a huge deal. You would normally have to check sort of both angles, and that would just be very difficult. In addition to that, for the B side, the box on the B side has been changed from a wooden one to a metal one that you cannot shoot through, not with a normal assault rifle and not with an Odin or anything that has high pen either. This makes it a little bit easier for the attackers to plant, and considering that this map has been pretty hard to attack on, I feel like it's good that they're helping the attackers out in this way. Another big change they've made is they moved a lot of the different barriers around the map. This is what the map looked like before, and this is what it looks like now. The main thing being, of course, the mid change here, where in mid vent and mid mail, so the area that goes towards the defender side of B and the area that goes towards the A side of the top mid, now both have their own barriers shutting them off from mid. This means that the defenders cannot take mid as easily, which gives the attackers a better chance to establish a bit of presence there, which will also help attacking the map. Some of the other barriers have basically just been moved back to help out all the different attackers, but all in all, I'm a big fan of the changes they've made here. I feel like it was well needed, and I'm happy to see these changes happen as quickly. I know what you're thinking. A month? The beta has been out for a month, Mysca. That's not very quick, but trust me, in the game dev world, 1 month is a pretty quick turnaround. They've got a lot of stuff they're working on, so yeah, really happy to see this, and there should also be some FPS improvements and things like that. The patch notes say they've done some optimizations and other things too, so yeah, good stuff. But that's about all for Split and for this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you want more of the patch and more of me playing the patch, you can go to twitch.tv/Mysca. I might be live right now. If not, just give me a follow on there. I stream there almost every day. day, every other day. It's a little bit all over the place right now. But yeah, trying to stream some Valorant ranked and just have fun. See you guys in chat, and if not, see you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you made it this far, click that bell thing, because I think there's like less than 10% of you that have clicked that bell, and sometimes you just won't get our videos in your sub feed if you don't. So yeah, would appreciate it. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Goodbye.